Start streaming. All right, let me just double check that we are live. All right, I think we're live. You want to kick it off, Nicole?
Yeah, so welcome to today's How Did She Do It? We're going to be talking about a freedom-based business, and is it really a reality? Freedom-based business is one of those hot terms and topics of people are leaving 9 to 5. They want to have freedom to travel and freedom to do what they want to do and work on their passion. And we're just going to break it down into three main things that you have to have in place to have a freedom-based business, whatever freedom means to you. And, it's one of those things that Lindsay and I were just chatting about, and we had a totally different topic for today's talk, but we wanted to just kind of chat about our journey with Get It Done Gals over the last 3 years. In April, I think we'll start on year 4, and things have shifted for us, and the vision that we had is now in place. But it took us 3 years to get there. And, it's part encouragement, it's part steps, it's part us cheering you on in your journey as a business owner, because oftentimes we feel alone. So the Get It Done Gals group is all about supporting you guys and really giving you the behind the scenes of what's going on in our life and business so that you can streamline your success. So I'm Nicole Lombardo, and this is Lindsay in the beautiful pink blazer. She's all dressed up today because she was out at a BNI meeting connecting with people in the community, and we are the Get It Done Gals. And we thank you first and foremost for being here in this Facebook group. We love having a community of women that are entrepreneurs and that, we can support and share our journey and our the things that have worked really well in business and haven't worked really well, so that you can really, like I said, streamline your success and streamline what you're doing. Lindsay and I have tons and tons of experiences working inside and out of businesses, right? As I'm sure a lot of you have. And I think what sets us apart is that we haven't just left a 9 to 5 and did something and then teach you. We've been working and refining this process for years and years and years. I am a serial entrepreneur. I build businesses. That's what I love to do. I love taking an idea and seeing it all come together with systems and processes and being super organized and making sure the legal entity's set up so that, you're legit and have, good like systems in place to run the business. And so I think that really sets us apart because we have seen and worked with so many business owners. And, it was interesting. The other day, someone asked us, like, oh, do you only work with direct salespeople? And I was like, no, actually, we've worked in almost, I wanted to kind of write it out and see, but in over 20 different industries, we've helped people set up their businesses, whether it's products or services, coaching. And so these 3 steps will help you, whether you're in service-based direct sales, if you're a coach, if you have products. Okay? All right. So the 3 things that we wanted to share with you today of building a freedom-based business, really making that a reality, is 1, it takes time and it takes hustle. And you have to put in the work. And 2, you have to put in systems in place. That's part of that, taking the time and hustling is to create those systems so you have something that your business runs off of when you kind of take a step back and you can go vacation or go work at your favorite charity at your leisure. And number 3 is building a community is so important, both online and offline. Now, Lindsay and I have talked about these 3 points extensively, But, it's something that we wanted to just kind of remind you as the year is just getting started. It's the end of January, and everybody has goals and a vision, right? And we believe that these three things is what gets you towards your vision. It moves you forward in your goals. So we had a dream. We had a dream 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, to build a business that was had systems, because that's what I love to do. Is I love to build businesses with systems in place so that we can step back and learn more and work really with our VIP clients and really support them, and have some online courses and informational products that support those who are not ready for one-on-one coaching. It's really important to us to share our journey and what we've learned that works in business, what doesn't work. There's so many ads and great content out there and webinars, but how do you put that all together? It can kind of get you going in different directions. So that's why we created our online courses. Is we surveyed our audience, we talked to our one-on-one clients, and we took the most important information and we created those products because there was a need in the market, because people were asking us for it. And we took the results that we were seeing in our business and our client businesses, and we put it all into these programs and products. And so, that took us 3 years to accomplish, because we were working with one-on-one clients and building these products. And it's amazing to see, because our vision has now come together, where Lindsay and I can take a little bit of a breather. The behind the scenes of what's going on in Get It Done Gals is that we're taking a little bit of downtime and taking care of ourselves, and we're looking at different opportunities. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I'm always looking for an opportunity. I'm always looking to help other businesses be established, whether it's a brand new idea or coming in and building strategies for businesses, whether they want to take it online or just put in more automation or systems. And so, because we have Get It Done Gals in this really nice place, it has opened up freedom for us. And so freedom is now obtainable for us. It's here for us. And, I haven't really shared it with you guys or the world, just my family and friends. But, my husband and I, we live in San Diego, but we come and go. And right now we're in the middle of transitioning over to Europe, to France. And so the only way that we could ever move to different countries like we do is by me having a job that I can do from anywhere. And so Get It Done Gals, I can do from anywhere. And that's the exciting part of why Lindsay and I created this business. Because, giving you a little bit of background, before Get It Done Gals, Lindsay and I, Lindsay was working at a gym and doing online marketing for a online educator here in San Diego. And I had a product-based business at the time. I had a tote and cosmetic bag company. And when my husband came home and said, "Hey, you want to move to New Zealand?" I was like, yes, but how do I do my work from there? There's so much overhead. I need distribution centers and I need shipping, and I have all this product, and I have to transition my business around this move. And so, that business, I decided after a few months, I just wanted to not have the product-based business anymore and go 100% into coaching and helping businesses. And so that created a lot of freedom for me, and that works for our lifestyle, the Lombardo family lifestyle of living in different countries and coming and going. So, ask yourself, what does business do for you? Does it give you the freedom to be with your children? Does it give you the freedom to go to a yoga class in the middle of the day, What does it do for you? How does it light you up? How does it make you more passionate about who you're helping? So now let's get into the 3 steps, and I'll let Lindsay talk. All right. So number 1 is it takes time and hustle. So Lindsay, I'll hand it over to you. Now that I've
No, that was amazing. No, it's really good. And I think it gives some great perspective to everyone as to where our business is going and just, more of our background and goals and vision. And the reality is, Nicole and I always had this vision. We were always setting this business up so that we could be wherever we wanted to be. And that was important for both of us, that we'd be able to travel, and for Nicole to be able to live abroad. In fact, when we started the business, Nicole was living in New Zealand. So it was even more pertinent that we set it up accordingly. But in terms of it takes time and it takes hustle, this is never a topic that anyone usually wants to talk about and wants to really think about. Because the reality is you're being flooded every day with all these amazing Facebook ads saying, hey, you can make, this is how I made $30,000 in 1 month, or this is how I did this in 2 weeks, right? That's because it's marketing and that sells. And it's not to say that those people haven't made it in that time. But the reality is there's a lot of stuff before that that you don't always see. Many people in the online world are just like Nicole. They're serial entrepreneurs. And, they've been working at this for a while. So, one thing that's really big is that we've done over the past 3 years that has gotten us to this place where we can take a step back and we can just allow things to flow is we've been consistent. So we've been patient and we've been consistent. We recognize that everything does take time, and we really treated this like a business. So we invested when we needed to invest. We did what we needed to do to move the business forward and to be able to have the brand that we do today. The brand that we have today is certainly not what we had, 3 years ago when we started. And so, really when you're thinking about it, this is the hustle and it takes time, is asking yourself, okay, am I ready? Am I ready to do what it takes to move this business forward? Am I ready to do what it takes to help people in my industry? And if you are, just recognize, you may feel like everyone around you is, making all this fabulous income right away and really quickly. And I think it's best said that, nothing, like the best things in the world are worth waiting for. And so really know that sometimes it just takes time, consistency, and patience. And sure, over that time, maybe something it's the greatest part about entrepreneurship is you get to try things, right? So maybe you try something and it just blows up and it works. That's amazing. But you may have had to try 10 times before you got to that 11th one that actually blew up and worked. So remember when you're thinking about it, asking yourself, okay, am I ready to devote some time and energy to making this work? And if you're super passionate about it, you're super excited about it, you will be willing to do that. And just know that, the time, space, and consistency is going to be key to get you to that point of freedom base. So I'll hand it over to Nicole.
And the reason we really want to talk about that it takes time is that we don't want people to feel alone if they are saying, wow, I'm 6 months in, I'm a year in, things are not moving like I thought they would. And, as we have seen, when people are building businesses, like Lindsay said, it can come together like fairly quickly, or it can take a little bit of time. So if you're on the track of like, oh man, I'm really working here and I know this will come to fruition and come together, just realize that we're here to support you. Give us a shout out in the Get It Done Gals and let us know where you're at in your journey. Let us know how we can support you and, say, hey, it's taking longer than I thought, but that's okay. Or, it's taking longer than I thought, but I need to move things now, Have the support of a community around you, because not all of your friends and family will understand what you're going through as an entrepreneur and as a leader in your business. Okay, so let's go on to number 2. It's systems. And systems don't seem sexy until the systems are in place and you're like, oh yeah, I don't have to be at my desk all the time because I actually have systems that run and I have a business that's running and I don't have to be tied to my computer or tied to my desk. So, Lindsay and I have systems in place, and in our course, the Savvy CEO School, we have this circle of systems, and it's really about getting clarity first and understanding, who you work with and what you offer them, and client enrollment, and then we have marketing, and we have like that strategy system of like how do you get your business to move forward, right? So when you have systems in place, it just opens up the freedom in your day, in your life, and it helps your as you grow your team to really understand how a process that what happens in your business. So you can kind of step back when things come up and you've built this beautiful, I say beautiful, most people don't look at systems as beautiful. But, I look at it as that's my freedom, is that I don't have to always be at my desk. And, Lindsay and I set up for this quarter one of 2017 to sit back and see how our systems run. We have things automated and we have things flowing and we have our systems running and our team knows what they're doing. And so that's allowed us to look at other opportunities, to educate ourselves and to learn more, and to take a step back from that hustle that we've been doing for 3 years and just go, oh, okay, let's take a breather and focus on ourselves a little bit right now, because we haven't been focusing on ourselves. We've been focusing on a business. And last year we pumped out videos, we pumped out emails, we pumped out products, we up leveled everything in our business, from our name changing to Get It Done Gals to Facebook Lives. I mean, Lindsay was in this group doing Facebook Lives all the time. People were emailing us and texting us saying, how in the world are you doing all of this? And it was because we were hustling. And so this quarter one, we said, okay, we've hustled, we've built this, let's sit back and let the systems run and let's see how this goes. And that is so freeing, because when we get on a call with a client, I feel so relaxed and good about just giving everything I can into that VIP client, that one-on-one client. I don't have this, I have to go record this today or make this product or make sure that our social media is taken care of. Like, every system is flowing. Our VA understands what they're doing. Our marketing director understands what they're doing. We used to have every day a meeting, Lindsay and I, and kind of detail everything out. And that's dwindled to like once a week we have a meeting. We cover everything we need to cover and we're done. So it's opened up a lot of space mentally. It's opened up a lot of space to work on health and fitness and get back into routines of health and nutrition. So that's what systems do for us and for our business. So I know they're like, I love, sexy systems and making sure that everything is organized. So I know that Lindsay has she'll have her point of view on what systems do for her.
I think that systems are a really amazing topic. And I find that there's a lot of people that grow really fast and never put the systems in place. And then they find at a certain point that their growth potential is capped because they don't have the systems to get them to the next level. So what do I mean by that? There's a few different companies I've worked for as a marketing director and seen where the owners built their businesses so fast that they didn't have the systems in place to allow them to step away from the business, because they built their businesses around themselves in so many different instances. And at that point, when you've built the business around yourself and you don't have systems in place to let the business run and allow you to take a step away, it causes you to constantly be in the business. Now, some people like that because there's a sense of fulfillment and busyness and that you're needed. But the reality is you can't sustain that for the long haul, right? Like Nicole and I couldn't sustain what we were doing this year for another few years. There's no way, not mentally, not physically, not for our families. Sometimes there's ebb and flow. I think that our client Angie Garner says it so well that there's, seasons. Sometimes there's a hustle season and sometimes there's like the sit back. And so, really thinking about, how does your business run without you? Could your business run without you? Could you go for a month trip and be able to not see any clients, or have someone to cover your clients and you're still making money? These are all things that you want to think about. And the reality is how Nicole and I set up the business from the very beginning allowed us the space to do that, whether we were traveling or not traveling. And we did that through, we only see clients virtually. So that allows us a space. If we're on a month-long trip, we can still see clients if we'd like to. Obviously, we have a partnership. So having this partnership has supported us. If one is gone, the other can kind of take over and vice versa. We brought in a virtual assistant that helps us with a lot of back-end stuff to make sure things are functioning properly. We get a lot of the same emails over and over again, so she helps us with those templated emails, getting back to people, which allows us the space to focus on our clients. That was pretty much in place with the exception of the team members from the very beginning. Our virtual, seeing clients virtually, having all of our systems. We have canned responses so that we can send emails out really quickly. We've really got things kind of nailed down. And that's Nicole's specialty. She is the one that set up all of this. So, really thinking about what areas in your business do you need to start putting systems in place. And remember that once you put those systems in place, that's also going to be the point when you may have to relinquish some control and step back. And that might actually be more challenging than putting systems in place. So you really have to think about that. We get here a lot. I'm a perfectionist. I don't think anyone can do it better than I can. And that's all good and great, but that's not going to take you to the next level. Trying to do everything yourself, being a perfectionist, harping on whether you should put this word in an email or not, or this word, and spending an hour on it, that's an hour taking you away from time where you could be bringing income in the door. And over the past 15 years being in marketing, the people that I've seen stay flatlined are the companies that can't get past the perfectionism. They trying to do it all and they can't let go and relinquish control, and they don't have the proper systems in place. The companies that I have seen rise to the top and really thrive are the ones that have the systems in place. They're able to take a step back and they recognize that there are people that are way better at them at certain things, and you need to put those key players in place so that your company can rise to the next level, because we can't be experts at everything. So really just think about what areas of your business are you lacking systems? What areas of your business do you maybe need to let go and relinquish control over so that you truly can start living that freedom-based lifestyle?
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we are the Get It Done gals, so we want to have a little bit of a take action here. So when it comes to systems, don't run and hide. Here's the top 3 systems that you should look at in your business. You should look at your customer experience. So if someone signs up for your webinar, are emails going out? Are they getting on the newsletter list? They want to hear from you, but it's just happened. I really wanted to buy a product from somebody. I missed the launch last time because somehow I don't ever see when the doors are open or closed or anything. And so when I heard that her product was coming back around, this online course, I noted the masterclass. I had to go search it out. I couldn't figure it out from her website. It was some random URL that was nowhere on her website, nowhere on her social media. Then I signed up for the webinar. There were no emails. I never got an invite to the webinar. I missed the webinar, never had follow-up, never got on the email list. So I had to search again, like, when is this, product coming out? And so, I had to investigate a little bit. That's losing out on a lot of money. That's a lot of potential clients, people that she's missing out on helping her. And, that follow-up is important. So customer experience. Now, I have time right now because my systems are in place. My business is running and automated, and we have systems. Now, last year, I would have missed the course again, and I wouldn't have had time to search this out. And so Look at your customer experience. Are you communicating with your customers, your personal one-on-one clients? Are you giving them the best user experience from the time they reach out to you to the time they're done working with you? Are they raving about you? Do they want to talk to you and keep in touch with you? And, what little surprises can you give them? Little, Lindsay always says, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So look at your customer experience. It's really, really important. The other thing is finance. It's in this day and age so easy. I mean, when I first started building businesses, it was either QuickBooks, Quicken, or an Excel spreadsheet. And now we have these super flashy software programs like FreshBooks and Mint and QuickBooks still, and it's really easy to do your accounting and have all your finances and invoicing all in one place. I've heard great things about FreshBooks, so check that out. Make sure that system is just an easy process, and having a team of a bookkeeper and your CPA so that exactly what's going on with taxes and your legal information and bookkeeping is really important as a business owner. It's not really anybody's favorite thing to do. It's who wants to do taxes, who wants to look at the books. For the most part, a lot of us avoid it, but as a business owner, you really want to stay on top of that. Okay, and the third system to really focus on is your marketing system. Look at your social media. We're not asking you to be everywhere. We want you to be where your ideal client is, where your community is, and be in front of them consistently. So whatever system you need to get in place to be in front of your community on a consistent basis, that's the system you need to build. All right, so let's move on to point number 3, and then we'll wrap it up. Is building a community. You cannot have a business if you don't have relationships and community, your tribe, whatever you want to call it. But the most important thing that Lindsay and I have learned in every single business is that you need community. You need to be networking. And I'm not talking about like BNI. Lindsay went there this morning. She had a great experience. And, it doesn't have to be like super formal. It's just when you're out in the world, talk to people, create relationships. If you're at a dinner party, introduce yourself to somebody. Who knows, there might be someone there that will share your information with somebody else. It's just all about nurturing relationships, whether it's out in your community on a one-on-one basis or if it's online. It's about building those relationships. So we encourage you to build community, build relationships within this group, with us, with people in your community, with your followers on social media. That's the important part about business that we oftentimes forget and we kind of hide behind. And, sometimes people, including myself, get nervous about reaching out to somebody or posting something. And I always come back to the fact that I'm here to build relationships and connection and support people and have a community of people around me that are like-minded. This group especially, we're all get it done gals, we're building businesses, we have something in common. So we want you guys to build community here and in other Facebook groups, in your social media and out in the world.
Cool. Yeah, I think when it comes to building relationships, you guys, just remember it's quality over quantity. So I find a lot of times you'll see that people are part of like 150 Facebook groups, or they go to 15 different networking events. Instead, really focus on a few key places where your ideal client is hanging out or where a strategic partner is hanging out, and really just keep it simple. And remember that, like Nicole's saying, you can build a relationship with someone at the hair salon, and they might recommend you, or, we have clients that build relationships with people at their fitness studios all the time. So really just remember, instead of going out there and saying, okay, who can I build a relationship with? Just smile, be friendly, ask questions, listen. And I promise you, by doing that, when you connect with people, like just real life connection, you're going to find some really amazing people and be able to support each other, and then be consistent. So, if you're going to go to a BNI networking group, go every single week. If you're going to be a part of, this Facebook group and other Facebook groups, show up consistently. Share things with people that you think will support them in their business. So it's really, relationships are hugely important. I mean, that is all that sales is. I was just talking to a girlfriend that has been in sales for over 15 years. She's like, it's just relationships. That's it. Like, that is what sales is. Relationships, follow up. Relationships, follow up. So, just really remember that when you're in Facebook groups and when you're out in the community. Oftentimes when we're moving really fast, which I know this past year I moved so fast, I unfortunately felt like I wasn't building as many relationships as I would like. And that's one thing I'm very passionate about. So you've got to slow down. You've got to really, again, listen, ask questions, think about other people, see how you can support them and you can serve them. And, just really focus on having some quality relationships. That's all I got.
I think it's so important as you're, what does freedom-based business mean to everybody, right? That's what we opened with. Is it really a reality? And take a look at what building a business means for you. Look at why you're passionate about it. Look at who you're helping. Why did you even start this endeavor? And make it easy on yourself. Look at it and say, okay, it might take a little time, or, I'm going to have to hustle. But I'm not alone. I have many other boss babes and get it done gals around to support me in this. And number two is building systems that will support you and move you forward in your business, so that as you build the business, you can kind of step away and let things run and be automated and be clean and organized, so that you don't have to be searching for random stuff and be tied to your computer and desk all the time. And then building the community. Building the community will help you. I talk to so many people out in my community here locally, and I was talking to this woman the other day, and we were talking about online marketing and being an entrepreneur. And I told her, I said, as much as we're online marketers, we get 70 to 75% of our clients from networking events, from personal relationships, from really connecting with people. And she laughed and she said, my coach told me that I needed to get out in the community and I needed to be networking. And she goes, I actually, I did it because they told me to do it, but I actually calculated it. And 72% of her clients come from people that she has relationships with here in the local community, and getting out and holding meetups. And I laughed so hard I actually slapped my knee, like a knee slapper. But I was like, oh my gosh, it's so true. And that's something that we get bogged down with sometimes in this overwhelming, like, I need Facebook ads and I need a list and I need to be on social media. Just take a deep breath and look at your business and say, how can I start streamlining these things? How can I work in a better way? How can I create relationships and let people know what I do and really be authentic? And like Lindsay said, it's quality versus quantity. And you will, I think I hope these things really serve you in your business as you go throughout the next, the end of January and into February. Look at this year and what is your vision for your business? Where do you want to be at? How can you make it easier on yourself and still bring a lot of value to your clients and customers? All right, so we'll wrap it up there. Let us know if you like this topic. Let us know if you have topics that you would like us to cover. And anything from pricing, packaging, marketing, systems, productivity, how we, our experience in the past, whether it's coaching, service-based, product-based. Let us know what you need support in. We're totally here. We're here every Thursday at 9 a.m. or thereabouts. And, just let us know what would really serve you guys best. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.